I'm Jordyn Adair, and I'm going to talk about some stuff that we've been talking about in class lately. So I'm going to go ahead and start with some of the current events that I've chosen the past few weeks. So the first one is about how Hillary Clinton is gaining some votes from young people and people that are undecided, especially with the help of lots of celebrities like Miley Cyrus, Lady Gaga, RuPaul, George Clooney, Beyonce, Chris Colfer, Ariana Grande, people that these young people really look up to and really trust with their opinions even. And so they're really influencing their votes and to go towards Hillary. Some of them, like an educator from Michigan, are saying how that they wish that there was somebody that they could vote for that they are standing behind 100%. Right now, when it's between the two of them, they both have their ups and downs. So right now, the people are more pro-Hillary and anti-Trump than, well, they're more anti-Trump than pro-Hillary. So it also says how lots of people agree with Hillary's stances on women and children. When you have Donald Trump, who's calling the former Miss Universe Miss Piggy, and that Hillary says that we should not allow this man to raise the country and raise our children, and the children of this country should not be raised by someone that has these views and treats women and children like this and disrespectful to them. And many people are agreeing with that assessment, especially because they agree with the whole feminist idea that Hillary will do better in raising this country as a whole and not just the business and just the male pride kind of thing. So my next article is about how Trump is refusing to back down on the race because lots of people are wanting him to. Lots of Republicans are wanting for him to back down because of the videos that were currently released or recently released of him and his locker room talk on the TV show, and how he talks about these women in such disrespectful ways, and that this is not okay, even though he thinks it was just nothing more than just him talking with another guy, like just what guys do, and it's just not okay to refer to women and these ideas and these, especially married women, and just it's just unacceptable. And that's not what a leader should do, and should not treat anybody like this. So, but Trump's wife is trying to persuade that people that he's still fit for president and that this wasn't him and this happened a long time ago. But they're trying to use pathos to persuade people to make it for him to still be president. So my next article is about how a bunch of women are accusing Bill Clinton for rape, and how this is affecting the race on Hillary Clinton's behalf, because not that she did it, but she is married to this man that is being held underneath such great lengths and such high clauses, and people are making shirts and people are protesting during debates and speeches that Bill Clinton raped a bunch of people, and are making shirts that look just like Obama's shirt that says hope, but instead it says rape, and they're aggressively protesting, and if they're on TV they're getting paid money, and just nothing good is coming of this, and just no protesting, and everyone, even though everyone wants to feel equality, it's not the right place or time to do it, and to leave it at that. So my next article is about how the KKK is heavily supporting Trump for being our president. So this really provokes emotion because it says that, well, if the KKK wants Trump to be our president, then that's not good. Then why aren't we voting for this man to be our president when the KKK approves of this? And they use an illusion of Barack Obama and how it kind of goes both ways, how Hillary supported Barack Obama when he was becoming president, which so we should vote for Hillary now, but now the KKK wants Trump to be our president, so we should not vote for Trump, kind of thing. And very sarcastic in the article. The tone was very sarcastic, and provoking anger too, because people were burning down churches, writing terrible things on the churches, and or even just people writing or painting "Vote Trump" on churches and then burning them down. And who would do that? And it says who would do that to a house of worship. So it's provoking anger that people would do this to a church or just in general anywhere. So I'm going to move on to Martin Luther King Jr.'s speech on dreams, and it uses a lot of quotes or references to the Constitution and how that what's written in the Constitution is just not relating to them, and all men are created equal. Well, they're men and they're not being treated equally to the white people, and that they're not getting they're not having the same rights that they should have, or not having the same rights as the white people. And it's called "I Have a Dream" because he has a dream that in the future this will change, and they will all have the equal rights as people. They're not trying to say we're better than the white people. They want equality to the white people. And he uses repetition in his speech to emphasize that he wants this to happen. This will happen. That he knows in his heart that this is the right thing that should happen, and this is going to happen. And how, and his speech was given near Congress, and because Congress is the people that can change this, that can make it happen to where they are equal to everybody. And he relates to Lincoln's speech, starting it with 50 years ago, and it reminds people that Lincoln was also fighting for non-slaves, for black equality, and that this is that they're voting for, or they're rooting for the same thing, and they always have been, and they all want equality, and that's what should happen, and it did happen. We have the laws are equality. So the next thing I'm going to talk about is Abigail Adams' letter to her son, John Quincy Adams. And in this letter, John Quincy Adams is overseas with his father and in France and all over Europe, because his father is the president of the United States at that time, and he does not want to be there. So his mother writes in this letter to motivate him to stay and to really try to get through to him that it is important that you're there, and it is a learning experience, that he should try to collect as much knowledge as he can while he's there, and to use it as an educational experience, not just leisure, that he can follow in his father's footsteps, which eventually does. He becomes in a few years he becomes the President of the United States, and to educate the future generations, which as being the president he can't do now, and his experiences really helped him have opportunities that not everybody would have because his father was the president. So it helps him learn the language of politics, it helps him meet people, it just really explores his options for him to be able to have the capability of eventually becoming the president. And she also wants to comfort him, and she uses diction like a tender parent. That John Quincy Adams is currently with his father, so not only does he have a parent at home, but he is with his parent in France, and that supremely happy, and because both of their parents will be supremely happy when he gets back, because he will learn from this opportunity, be smarter, be more mature when he comes back. And her tone throughout the whole letter is very loving, very supportive, very inspiring, trying to inspire him to stay and to make something out of this experience, to not just live with nothing, in anger. She did not want him to live with the anger of him having to go and them making him go. She wanted him to do something while he's there and not just live in the anger and sadness of him being forced to go. And he has that advantage of going and learning these things from these people that he meets with his father, and learning from his father and following in his footsteps. So I'm going to go back to some of the first articles, the current events that I had in the beginning few weeks. So the first one is about how many people drowned in a boat that was off of Egypt coming to America. So so the boat was holding many illegal immigrants coming to America, and they paid to go on this boat up to $4,000 just to get onto the boat. And so there was about 400 people on this boat when there should have been no more than 200 at the most. So that's why it sunk, was that there were too many people. So not only was this avoidable, but they paid, a lot of them paid for their death, and it was very, very sad. And the people that were running the boat, faced charges of human trafficking and manslaughter because this was avoidable. And what was really sad was that not only were these people, some of them died, but the ones that survived and were rescued were handcuffed to hospital beds once they were in the hospital, because they were illegal immigrants trying to escape. And so there was pictures of them all handcuffed together, handcuffed to the beds, and it was just a very sad incident that happened by Egypt. So my last article was about the train in New York that crashed into crashed into the train station with all the people waiting for the trains. So not only do they not know why this happened, but they came out of nowhere. No one expected. It was unexpected, and it just crashed into everything. It just people were trapped. Some people were killed. Some people were heavily injured. They were very injured, and it kind of exploded a little bit. It was just a very, very sad incident, and that we don't even know why it happened, because there weren't very many people to talk about it. And what from the inside what happened. We just know what happened on the outside, and that we just know that there was no breaks happening. So we don't know if that's why it didn't stop, was because there was no breaks, or what happened in that situation. So the last thing I'm going to talk about is the book They Say, I Say. And some of the important parts of this book were definitely, in my opinion, how to learn how to agree and disagree simultaneously, and to show their opinion and your opinion, but not make it biased at the same time, and try to avoid controversy throughout your writing, and try to use patterns and use structures in your writing, because eventually it'll become mindless and it'll just happen. And the next paragraph, or the next chapter, I thought that was important, was about summaries, and how a good summary requires balance between my opinion and also whatever I'm trying to summarize. So it's always struggled, in my opinion. I've struggled with one or the other, and it really helped understand had good templates of how to introduce both opinions, mine and what I'm summarizing, not just the summary and not just my opinion, but how to put both of them together in the summary. So the last part that I thought that was really important was the believing game, because even if you are totally biased about some point of view, or feel so strongly about a point of view, that you still have to be able to write the same amount of the opposite of how you're feeling, and make people believe you and be persuasive, even though you don't believe that. But you still have to be a good writer, and you have to fight through those struggles of having to write for something that you don't totally believe in, even though you believe it. So that whole template and articles and examples really helped how to do that, and how to explain yourself and be unbiased when writing about something that you disagree with, even if it's something you strongly disagree with. So, well, thank you for watching, and that was my recap on everything we've learned this year. Thank you.